Okay, so I am Dr. Jess Bueller. I'm a chiropractor and I do NATE and acupuncture, and I have a practice in the middle of Central South Dakota. So what I want to talk to you about today is what whoever invited you to this meeting invited you for, the reason why they invited you. So you watched the ABC Primetime video, and you saw how John Quinones got a 45% reduction in oxidative stress in just 14 days. So we're going to talk about is that supplement that was mentioned, and it's actually different than a supplement. It's a cell activator called NRF2 proteandum. So we are essentially 37 trillion cells organized very nicely to become this human body that we are. But what we get with NRF2 proteandum is an activation of every single cell in our bodies. So if you could turn on all your good genes and turn off all of your bad genes, would you want to? And that's what we have access to with proteandum NRF2. So how do you get a 40% reduction in oxidative stress in 30 days? Because that is what we claim, and we actually get FDA approval to claim that. And so, which is cool because most supplements do not get that. But how do we get that reduction in oxidative stress? Well, let's go back and talk about what oxidative stress is. There's cell damage that's happening in our bodies all the time by something that's called free radicals. And they're reactive oxygen or nitrogen and other species in our body that are byproducts of processes that we do. And they also result from toxic environment that we put ourselves in. So over time, these free radicals start to accumulate, and our body usually has this built-in mechanism where it produces antioxidants to keep up with that damage. But as we age, some of that slows down. And so what they found is that then free radical damage outweighs our ability to neutralize those free radicals. And that is what is called oxidative stress. And we know that oxidative stress is an underlying root cause in every symptom, condition, or disease. From the simplest things, whether it is tingling or pain or indigestion or depression, it doesn't matter what system in your body, they all have underlying oxidative stress at their root core. And so what they found was that if antioxidants could neutralize these, then we need to just eat them, eat antioxidants. So then the antioxidant boom came. And what they found out is that you could never eat enough to actually keep up with what your body was producing. And so what happens is with NRF2 proteandum, what happens is it activates the cell, and inside of every cell there is an enzyme called NRF2. And what NRF2 does then is it attaches itself to your DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. And one of the genes that it affects is your body's own antioxidant production. And so instead of eating them or taking them and neutralizing a free radical with an antioxidant at a rate of 1:1, your body instead produces them at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second. So this is the difference between taking antioxidants and making them. Who wouldn't choose to have your body producing them at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 over trying to eat them with a 1:1 ratio? It's a no-brainer. But this is only one of the 25,000 genes that are affected by NRF2 proteandum. And so what we found is that there's an activation. So you either get an upregulation or a downregulation of the gene in a positive manner. So we find that we have anti-inflammatory benefits, anti-fibrotic, anti-cancer, anti-tumor, If you really read into what we have for research, it's very cool. And it affects every cell, every tissue, every organ, every system. It's your entire body. In fact, within seconds of taking Nerve 2 Protandim, there was a study done where it showed and visually how you could see it incorporated in every cell in your body. So is this something you could see yourself taking? Maybe you are. Maybe you are. There are 5 components in Nerve 2 Protandim: ashwagandha, bacopa, turmeric, milk thistle, and green tea. 5 components. They are all known Nerve 2 activators. And there are other NRF2 activators, but they aren't as potent. But if you took these things individually, and even in major quantities, and compared to the exact blend that Dr. McCord and his team came up with, you didn't get the same effect. And the reason is because of something called synergy. The synergy of the components gets you an 1,800% increase in their effectiveness. This is the part where you should stop and realize that this is really huge. 1,800% increase in effectiveness, activating the most potent anti-aging pathway in your body. Awesome. So cool. So this is how we have patents. Most supplements don't have patents because you can't patent things that God made. You can patent drugs, but you can't patent supplements. But what you can patent are blends of things. And so there are 7 US patents and I think 3 international patents. I could be off on that. On Nerve 2 Protandim. And if you look at their specific functions, it shows that this patent is for its anti-inflammatory effect. This patent is for its anti-fibrotic effect. You know, you name there, it's very cool. But I'm not going to get into the patents because I don't want to keep you here all day. But really, there are no competitors to this product. This is a category creating product with over a decade of research. So very cool. And that decade of research comes because when you have something that is so intriguing, other people want to study it. Major universities, nutraceutical, pharmaceutical companies have studied it. And so we have lots of peer-reviewed research that has come about because of that. So that's super interesting. And again, so what does that mean to have good research? There are 23 peer-reviewed studies available on PubMed on NRF2 Protandim. PubMed is the public medical database, and it's where doctors do their research to find good, solid information. And if you go to PubMed and you type in any supplement that you're currently taking, you might find, maybe you'll find a study. I doubt it. I very well doubt it. But if you typed in something like fish oil, you might find a bunch of studies on fish oil. But to find your exact supplement in PubMed is highly unlikely. So having 23 is amazing. So there's one drug that company that studied this, and it's actually a drug that's available for MS. It's called Tecfidera, and it utilizes the same mechanism as our Nerve 2 Protandim. It's a Nerve 2 activator, but it's synthetic. It has side effects that are very serious. It's ridiculously expensive. It costs $21,000 every 3 months to take it, and it doesn't even get half of the reduction in oxidative stress that we get. So very cool that when they got done with their study, they recommended that Protandim be taken because it was the most potent inducer of the NRF2 pathway. So this is groundbreaking technology, and it is so compelling that other people want to look at it. That's cool. So what they found out is that NRF2 decreases our oxidative stress load, our cellular damage. But once the cells are damaged, part of the cell that gets damaged is the mitochondria. And so the mitochondria is the energy producing part of the cell, the powerhouse of the cell. So if you stop the engine from working, no matter what the cell's job is, it cannot do it. So what's cool is they came out with another supplement, and it's called NRF1 Protandim. And it's similar mechanism to NRF2, right? You activate the cell, that NRF1 enzyme attaches to your DNA, and it causes an expression of certain genes. Well, with NRF1, what we see is mitochondrial repair, mitochondrial replication, and ATP production. So what does this mean? This means energy at the cellular level. Think of how many people you know that are just plain tired or tired of being tired. There are a plethora of conditions associated with mitochondrial dysfunction. If you Google search or Google Scholar search or PubMed search mitochondrial dysfunction and whatever you might be experiencing, you might find something about this. So what we get is NRF2 takes the rust off the car, and NRF1, we supercharge the engine. So this is really the 1-2 punch of something that LifeVantage has coined biohacking your body. So what does that mean? Biohacking means to take control of a very complex system and get it in your control. You're in charge of what's happening because you're able to affect that DNA expression. You're using your nutrition to affect your DNA. So 2 category creating products, over a decade of research, and no one really knows about this. So I'm going to briefly tell you about the other products that they have that are based on demand. The other products they have, I feel like there's other companies that have comparables, but yet I still feel theirs are better. So I'm going to explain why. So they have a drink called Axio. And Axio fits into the category of energy drink because it has B vitamins in it. But it's so much more than that. It's an NRF2 activator specifically for the brain. This is brain food. So there's an upregulation of 3,000 genes in your brain responsible for your neurotransmitter connectivity. So what does that mean? It means the chemicals in your brain get to where they're supposed to go. So what does that mean? Mental energy, your fatigue is gone. You have better mental acuity, mental clarity, focus. This is huge for things like autism, ADHD, depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, or maybe you just want to have a killer workout or recover faster after your workout, or maybe you need to focus for a presentation, or whatever it is that your day involves. Axio is definitely cool. And then they also have True Science, which is a skincare line. And this came after there was a study done by the National Institute of Aging. That's the United States government's, it's an anti-aging study. It was a 10-year study, multi-continental. They studied different supplements, medications, and whatnot. And when they got done with the study, the only thing that they found to extend lifespan or health span or lifespan was actually NRF2 Protandim. And so they came to the company and said, if you can do this from the inside out, why don't you do it from the outside in? And so came the skincare line. So we have that double effect. And then they also have Pet Tandem. Pet Tandem is NRF2 Protandim, but specifically designed for a dog. Now think about that. Dogs age much faster than humans because their oxidative stress load is ridiculously higher. So very cool product, Pet Tandem. And then they also have a weight management line called Physique. It's a protein shake, a fat burn, a cleanse, and a probiotic called ProBio. And so the part of that I want to really mention is ProBio. And it's because I think it's probably the best probiotic on the market. And the reason is because they put a BioTract lining around it. So it bypasses your stomach acid and gets to your small and large intestine, right into the gut where we need them to give us the function that we want from them. And then, so that's basically their lineup. They have products people want and need, and the demand is high. So I feel like I got to tell you about the business side of this. And when I first started this was part I just left out altogether because I wasn't really interested in the business, but the science behind these two main products is so huge I could not overlook it. And then since June, when I got involved with this company, I've had many, many, many testimonies that have come back that have been just plain amazing. And really what made me even look at it twice was their peer-reviewed studies. And there was a study that had neurodegenerative diseases, including MS, ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's in the title. And I have a grandma that has Alzheimer's. And I have patients with those conditions. And I'm always looking for tools to help people with their health. The second study that really caught my attention was on cancer. And there actually were several on cancer, but on upregulating the P53 tumor suppressor gene and on affecting certain genes that are responsible for, that are expressed inappropriately, if you will, in certain cancers. So this is information that I feel obligated to share. And so I didn't like the way they were set up at first, but now I do, and I'm going to explain why. So I have built a successful chiropractic healing business based on referrals. But the South Dakota Board of Chiropractic Examiners has made it illegal to compensate someone for referring someone to my office. But without those referrals, I wouldn't have a successful business. I also feel that there is daily networking, sharing. We do this all the time, especially women, but men do it too. If you go to a restaurant and you have amazing food and stellar service, what are you going to do? You're going to tell everybody about it, and then they're going to go there because you told them. Or you find a pair of leggings you love, and you tell someone, you bet you they're going to buy some of those. It's just how it works. I was sitting in my living room trying to figure out what in my house did I buy that someone didn't tell me about. From my cleaning supplies, which are mostly Young Living, and to my furniture, things on my wall, whatever it is, we just do this. And we're short on time, and we're technology driven. I support my local stores, but I also shop on Amazon because I need easy. I have 4 kids. I have a busy life. Everybody else is the same stuff going on. I want this stuff to come to my house and not have to think about it. I want to be able to shop in the middle of the night when I actually have 2 seconds to sit still. And so the product's coming directly to you. That's something I really like about this company. And they give, your supply comes in a 30-day supply. So every month you're going to need more product. So it makes sense that you need an auto ship, where most auto ships are really irritating because you don't need anything and you have to still order something. And the cost of NRF2 Protandim is only $40. So if you hear about the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine, according to Washington State University, and you're me, what do you want to do? Tell everyone about it, So I don't really feel like this is a bad way. It's a networked way of sharing this. I tell you, and if you tell people and they tell people, and everybody has people that they can affect differently, that snowball effect happens, and we can help a lot more people than if I'm the one doing it by myself. So I really do like the way that it is set up. The company was founded in 2003. At that time, they had 1 study, 1 patent. In 2005, the ABC Primetime Investigative Report was aired. They had $5 million in sales overnight. From 2005 to 2009, they were in retail stores, GNC, Walgreens, all of those things. But they were failing. But Dr. McCord knew that he had a life-changing, category-creating scientific breakthrough, and so they hired a consultant, and the consultant suggested direct sales, and he said, absolutely not. That sounds like MLM, and I'm not interested in having that stigma on my product. But the direct sales won in a 6-week trial by 300%. And so here we are in a situation where they went from 2009, a $4 million company, to 2014 being a $200 million company. And I can tell you that people still do not know about this, and there are people that still need to hear about this because there's a story that needs to be told. You can't just set this on the shelf and get people to understand it. I'm not pushing a product on you. I am pushing you to look at the science behind this. There's over a decade of research. There's 23 peer-reviewed studies available in PubMed, and it's literally the biggest scientific breakthrough I've ever gotten to be a part of. And so if it's something you could see yourself doing, get back to the person who sent you here. If you want to try taking the products, get back to the person that sent you here. If you want to join us in this team effort to share this with as many people as possible, get back to who sent you here. It's really, it's about being first to market with products that are literally changing lives. And that's a big deal to me. And so, that's why I'm taking the time to share this with you guys. And that's also why someone also shared it with you. So I'm going to unmute you and let you guys ask questions if you have them. Did it not work? There we go. Wow.
Yeah, it worked.
Sounds like my life in the background.
Yay!
Anybody have questions?
Okay, I do. My name is Maria. I'm here at Pure. Hi, Doc.
Hi.
I just ordered the kit from my mom.
Yes.
And Laura sent me the
Yay, Maria.
an email about the this, what do you call this? The side effects.
Yes.
For the side effects will probably just for 2 weeks. And do you think, I don't know if you have tried those before, do you think that will be a little bit longer, or 2 weeks will be, is just the period of time? I don't know. So what do you think?
You know, they give you that as an estimate. I've never had anybody have a side effect that lasted more than a day or two, but it is possible. It depends on what all your body is trying to detox. So this NRF2 pathway is not only the most anti-aging pathway, it's the most the highest detoxification pathway. It turns on anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic. So it obviously just depends on what your body is trying to get rid of. But lots of water will help with that detoxifying process. And I doubt that it will take 2 weeks.
Okay. She's also taking some heart medications. Do you think that it will affect, I don't know, what do you think?
So the only medication that we've seen any possibility of interaction with are anti-rejection drugs. So if you've had an organ transplant, that's something you'd want to check with your doctor with. And you can ask your doctor on that too. Dr. Gordon, he's a retired cardiologist, is in our upline as well. And he has also, also commented on that fact that there isn't interaction with that. So these supplements are processed by our liver, and medications are filtered by the kidney and then processed by the liver. So it's different mechanism.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Yes. No.
No?
Yeah.
More?
Jess, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. What about warfarin?
So
Blood thinning agent. Wasn't there something?
So there is, because Nerf2 and Nerf1 are made from plant extracts, there can be a small amount of vitamin K, which is it's not interacting, but it can be counteractive. If you're on a high dose of blood thinner, it's designed to make it so your blood does not clot. And vitamin K helps with the clotting cascade somewhat, so you can have this little bit of weird feeling for a little bit. But it's not anticipated to last more than a few days or so that you notice that.
Thanks.
Yes.
Is warfarin the same thing as Coumadin, Doc Jess?
Yes. Similar mechanism in our bodies. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, good questions. Get back to anybody that, whoever sent you. And if you have more questions, feel free to call, text, email me, or whoever sent you.
Thank you.